morning, everybody, and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for this Tuesday, May 16th. For introduction purposes, my name is Todd Wilchin. I am Chair of the Lancaster County Board. On my left, fellow Commissioners Jennifer Brinkman and Deb Shore. On my right, fellow Commissioners Roma Amundsen and Vice Chair Bill Avery. Joining us from the County Attorney's Office this morning is Mr. David Durbin. From the County Clerk's Office, the County Clerk, Dan Nolte. I apologize. And Kelly Lundgren, the Chief Administrative Officer, Mr. Kerry Egan, and the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer, Ms. Ann Ames. Now, please stand and join me for reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Mr. Clerk, please start the agenda.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approve the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, May 9th, 2017.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the last Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, May 9th. Any discussion or corrections? Please call the roll.
Avery?
Yes.
Brinkman?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundsen?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 2 are claims. Approval of all claims processed through May 16th, 2017.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the claims processed through May 16th. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundsen?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is a public hearing. This is for an amusement license application from Row Crop LLC to hold an outdoor music concert on September 28, 2017 at 701 Southwest 63rd Street, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay, I'm going to open up the public hearing for the amusement license application for Row Crop LLC. Good morning.
Morning.
You're here to testify in support?
Yes, well,
Okay.
it's our event. I'm with Row Crop.
Okay, excellent.
We'll get you to sign in over here. And I do need to give you an oath. If you raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. So this is a site map of the area we're hoping to utilize. Bob also is here today, the property owner. I do have a handful of hard copies if anybody wants these. As he mentioned, the event date is September 28th. This is a tour that we've done in the fall for the last 6 years. This will be our first time, of course, in this area. We've come and go out of different areas over the course of that 7 years. Some locations we stay in for several years, some for one reason or another, just we move on to another city. Part of it's ticket sales based, part of it is we determine the space doesn't necessarily work. We've also grown quite a bit in 7 years, so some of it is space related. Our peak attendance, our goal would be to sell 20,000 tickets. We won't sell any more than that. If we get to 20, we won't come back and say, hey, now we're going to sell 21,000. We will max out at 20,000. We usually do approximately 3 people per vehicle, so we estimate our parking based on about 7,000 vehicles. We have a contingency of about 100 private security guards that work our event. That's outside of law enforcement. We will hire local law enforcement to work the event itself, and then also whatever is required as far as traffic control. And those numbers, the numbers as far as the event itself, I have a pretty good idea of what we need for the event itself. And then traffic control, of course, we lean on the locals to tell us what they need as far as traffic control. We give them general ideas and plans and give them information about our event, but as far as numbers, they tell us they can do it with 2 officers, we do 2. If they say we need 50, we do 50. We'll also coordinate with local EMS and ambulance service, and the numbers there will depend on proximity to a local hospital, number of available ambulances, those items. We've, again, ranged from 3 ambulances to 12. Another factor there is how heavily the EMS vendor wants to staff the event, and if they want to have nurses on site, if they actually want to have a doctor on site, then a lot of times that'll reduce our number of transports, so that can reduce our number of ambulances. General overview of the event: we will arrive early that morning, probably 7 a.m., if not a little before that, to start our setup. Then we open parking. We advertise that parking opens at 2 o'clock. We generally try to be prepared and ready for parking to be open at 1 o'clock. Just if people start showing up, we don't want them stacking up on the road early. So we'll be prepared to open at 1. We advertise that we open at 2. The concert area itself opens at 5. Music will start sometime between 6:30 and 7, depending on what artists we have on the lineup. Luke usually starts around 9:30, and we're done at 11. And that's a pretty hard stop. We don't generally go over that time. If we were to postpone or hold off due to weather, that might be a reason for us to run a little past 11. But generally speaking, 11 o'clock, we're done. Traffic usually clears in 2 to 3 hours, and then we're usually gone from the site between 3 and 4 a.m. And then we have a cleanup crew that remains through the next day to make sure Bob's happy before we leave. We do sell beer within the confines of the concert area, which is the smaller area here on the map. It went away. At any rate, within our fenced-in area, we do sell beer. We have a concessionaire, again, that works with us. The majority of the services we provide and the staffing for our event travels with us. So we will hire local bartenders, but the bar managers and the upper management of the whole beer sales process are all folks that travel with us and have done the tour for years. So they know what to expect. They know how to deal with our audience. They've got some pretty good systems in place to deal with underage drinking. We are very adamant about checking IDs, and we also have law enforcement officers that are near those beer booths so that there's a little bit of a deterrent there as well. We will have food vendors on site. Again, most of them travel with us show to show, and we have a concessions manager that will work with local health department as far as making sure all those food vendors are getting the proper permits or getting the correct licensing, whatever they need as far as food sales. And that's the big picture. That's overall.
Thank you for that update. That information is very helpful. I know that I've had several conversations with the county sheriff as well as, or his representative, who handles traffic, as well as the county engineer. And I know they're here, so that if there are any questions that relate to that,
Great.
They can be directed to them. Because a lot of the concern comes from having this many people at this location and how you'll be able to get them into the site. I mean, obviously, opening the gates early would be helpful,
Yep.
but it's when they go to leave, having that large um, amount of vehicles. Can you, I guess, mention a little bit about the traffic plan?
Absolutely, sure. We have, so we have 35 parking personnel that work with us, and again, they travel with us, so it's not folks that are local that don't know our event. They're people that are used to dealing with our crowd, but also used to dealing with parking people in a wide open field as opposed to.
They're not
parking-
volunteers.
They're not volunteers. They're, no. So they're very accustomed to getting people off the road as quickly as possible. We do rely on, again, back on law enforcement to help get those cars to us in an orderly way. Once they're on the property, there is a charge for parking. So they can purchase a parking pass in advance, or they can pay on site. The price increases on site, so the goal is to sell as many in advance as possible, because when they've bought in advance, they're simply driving up, handing a piece of paper to the attendant and moving on. I believe it's $5 in advance, $10 on site. And again, it's not $5 and a quarter, so we're not searching for change and all of that. We make it as quick a process as we can. As they come onto the property, we funnel them, so there's 2 or 3 different lanes that as they come in, they go to 2 or 3 different attendants, pay their money, and move into the parking lot. There is a potential for backup as they're coming onto the property. It kind of depends on where they're coming from, how we can split them. A lot of times it's a process of the traffic managers or parking managers working with the law enforcement folks as far as, hey, gate 3 is totally wide open, send me more cars. Gate 2 is totally backed up, start sending them to gate 1. A lot of communication back and forth to make sure that it is flowing. On the out, honestly, we have not had many issues as far as once they're off the property. There's a backup in the parking lot, of course, because like you say, it's a lot of people leaving at once. The coming in seems to go a little better just because they do have a wide window of time. Some people are going to take Thursday off of work. Some people are just going to leave work early so they can get here. So it's spread out. The challenge, as you mentioned, is getting them all off. They will tend to sit in the parking lot a bit longer, but generally speaking, once they're out of the parking lots, we haven't experienced any issues with them getting slowed down at that point.
Right. Well, and I think this location, where it's located, close proximity to West O Street and the interstate, I think that it will be able to manage to handle that traffic flow.
Yeah.
So, are there any questions, Commissioner Shore?
What type of outreach have you done with regards to neighbors? I know based on the map there aren't any in close proximity, but what types of outreach efforts have you utilized?
We've done nothing yet. Waiting till we get some approval and move forward. Usually we try and wait until, like Bob may, simply make a mention to them, in passing or whatnot. We usually try and keep this amongst ourselves until we go on sale, just to keep there's some excitement around that on sale, which is usually early summer. But we will absolutely reach out to the neighbors. I have a letter that a lot of times we'll send that it's a generic letter, but I customize it for each city, explaining what we're doing, explaining that there will be some traffic issues, giving our contact info. So if they do have an issue, hey, I've got, something going on that day and I need to get in, I need to get out, or I've got, time-related issues, so that we're aware of those on the front end. So we do try and reach out, and again, it kind of depends on, like you said, there's not a whole lot right nearby, but we will reach out.
Are there any other questions for the applicant? Okay, well, thank you so much.
All right.
I think you've done, like I said, a lot of work to be prepared, meeting with the county, so we very much appreciate your willingness to work with us and to bring your event to Lancaster County. Hopefully it will be a good event.
Okay.
So, is there anyone else here to testify in support?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do. Good morning, Bob Benish. Well, in case you didn't realize, this is a really big event. And when I was first approached about it, at first, I was a little apprehensive because this is some of my best farm ground, and to put it into alfalfa so that I can have an event didn't make a lot of sense. And I know my neighbor farmers are laughing at me for putting alfalfa in. But, the more I thought about it, I thought, wow, what an incredible opportunity for Lincoln and Lancaster County, Nebraska, to bring something like this. And the more we thought about it, it's like, okay, let's do it, And so I did reach out to other farmers in other states. This is not something that they just say, hey, let's go do it. They've done this before. I did talk to other farmers that use their land to put on this event, and they had nothing but great things to say, as far as cleanup, the way they ran things, damages. It was all very positive. And so, I talked to some of my friends, and they're like, this is the revenue that this could generate for the county and the city is very good, and just a great opportunity. And so, we've been through a lot of meetings. We've talked to everything from fire to sheriffs to county engineer. There's going to be a few improvements we'll have to make with some culverts, which I'm used to doing. I know we tend to do that. So we feel pretty confident about it. Our big concern is rain. Rain could destroy it and could stop it. We just don't know. But other than that, we're pretty excited. As far as neighbors go, I don't have the map up, but there really aren't a whole lot. The nearest one is my parents. The second one is the fire chief for the area. So we've been in contact with them. I feel pretty confident about that. And the way we situated the stage, pointing away from any potential person, I thought was a smart idea. So they've really thought about it, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting. So.
Any questions for Mr. Benish? Oh, I would just like to say that we very much appreciate, or at least I very much appreciate your willingness to open up your
Thank you.
your property to this event, because you are correct. I think this is a great opportunity for the city of Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the state of Nebraska. I mean, this tour is
huge.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And so we very much appreciate your willingness to host it. And I know that, there's some people that don't like events in their backyard. So there may be some opposition. I'll make reference to, a letter we received earlier. But again, thank you for your willingness to host this event.
Thank you.
Commissioner Amundson?
Yeah, Pam, could you come up, please?
Could the county engineer please come forward for a question?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer.
I had a question regarding the culverts that are going to be put in. You said that there were some improvements.
Yeah, so if you refer back to the exhibit on the overall layout, Mr. Benish has 3 farm entrances and there's 4 entrances into the field. So he's going to have to come to us and ask for 1 more entrance. And so it's just standard operating procedure at the county. He'll come in and apply for a driveway permit, and we'll coordinate that with him and issue that permit, and he'll get the driveway and the pipe in prior to the concert.
Okay, is that at his expense or at our expense?
That is at his expense.
Okay, that's all.
Are there other questions for the county engineer? Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else here to testify in support of this application? Is there anyone here to testify in opposition? I will make reference to a letter we did receive from Joanne Benish, who did outline her concerns about the traffic and the security and the consumption of alcohol and other contraband at the event. I think they've all been, addressed by the applicant. And so with that, I will ask if anyone here is to testify in the neutral capacity. Okay, with that, I will close this public hearing.
Next is new business. 4A is an amusement license application from Roll Crop LLC to hold an outdoor music concert on September 28, 2017 at 701 Southwest 63rd Street in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the amusement license application from Row Crop LLC. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Good luck. We'll pray for good weather.
B is a memorandum of agreement between the Federal Emergency Management Agency and Lancaster County Emergency Management relating to the use of the Integrated Public Alert and Warning System. The term of the agreement is 3 years. There is no cost to the county.
Good morning. Jim David Saver, Director, Lincoln Lancaster County Emergency Management. This agreement allows us the opportunity to participate in the IPAWS system. They currently refer to that as the EAS, the Emergency Alert System. It's the newest version of the old EBS, the Emergency Broadcast System, which essentially was the cable interrupt, that if we needed to get a message out in a timely manner, we can do that not only through conventional means, but also through that interruption of broadcast media, radio and TV. We need this agreement in place in order to do that. The state of Nebraska, through Nebraska Emergency Management Agency, is the one that manages the service that provides it. It is at no cost to us at the county level. We just need this agreement in place with FEMA to participate in the program, to use the system.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the memorandum of agreement with the Federal Emergency Management Agency for the use of the Integrated Public Alert and Warning System. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4C is an agreement with the Administrative Office of the Nebraska Supreme Court for administration of the Adult Drug Court for the District Court of Lancaster County. The Administrative Office of the Courts will pay the county $493,678 for the services. Term of the agreement is July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2019.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with the Administrative Office of the Nebraska Supreme Court for the administration of the Adult Drug Court for the Lancaster District Court. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. D is an amendment to County Contract C-16-594 with Sovol Solutions LLC for professional consulting services to establish caseload standards for the Lancaster County Attorney's Office. The amendment extends the contract through June 30th, 2018. The cost of the county will be $18,000.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend the contract with Sovol Solutions for professional consulting services to establish caseload standards for the county attorney's office. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. E is an amendment to County Contract C-6-201 with Global Software, Inc. for computer software spreadsheet server for J.D. Edwards. The amendment provides for adding one limited license at a cost of $1,000. The amendment increases the total amount paid by the county for user licenses to $25,700.
All right, good morning. Dennis Meyer, County Budget and Fiscal Director. Our global software, we're needing to add one more license. Just a reminder with our global software package, it's a software package that really kind of attaches to Excel. And so it allows then kind of users then to pull information straight from JDE right into an Excel package, and it just makes life kind of easier that way. And This contract here, as was mentioned, this contract's been out there for probably 10-plus years. What happens is each time we add a user to it, we amend the contract, and so what we are doing now is adding one more, so we will have a total of 17 users. We've kind of taken a look at, who's kind of the heavy Excel users out there, kind of on the accounting side. So every time we kind of notice maybe another one that we feel that it would maybe benefit, we amend the contract, and that's what we're doing here.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend the contract with Global Software for the software spreadsheet server for J.D. Edwards. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. F is an amendment to an interlocal agreement with the Nebraska Secretary of State Records Management Division to provide microfilming imaging services. The amendment renews agreement from April 1st, 2017 through March 31st, 2018.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend the interlocal agreement with the Nebraska Secretary of State to provide microfilming imaging services. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. G is a sales quotation from Sealer for annual technical support, software maintenance, and warranty for the county engineer's Trimble software and hardware. The cost of the county is $6,067.43.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the quotation from Sealer for the annual technical support, software maintenance, and warranty for the county engineers Trimble software and hardware. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4H is a quitclaim deed from Lancaster County to Jeffrey D. and Tiffany M. Raddick to convey property generally located in a portion of West Mikey Street vacated by County Resolution R-17-17 in the unincorporated village of Kramer, Lancaster County.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the quick claim deed to Jeffrey and Tiffany Raddick. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. I is a recommendation from the purchasing agent and the county, district, and juvenile courts to award a contract for Hall of Justice courtroom audio replacement to Midwest Sound and Lighting. The total amount is $189,382.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay,
Is this building commission or?
Yeah, is.
well, we have a motion and a second to approve this recommendation. Mr. Walla, please, come forward.
Bob Walla, purchasing agent. No, it is not billing commission, it's county funds.
And this is a replacement?
Yes,
Okay.
it's set up in two different phases. The first one is for this fiscal year, is the way I understand it, and the second phase is for the next fiscal year for funding purposes.
Well, and Mr. Walla, was this included in the budget?
I believe it is. I mean, we normally don't get requests if it isn't, but
Well, this is a very large amount of money, so
Correct.
I'm going to hold this, and if Mr. Egan would please go get Dennis, so he can answer those questions.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I mean, we have some questions about that. Thank you. Let's move on to item number J, please.
4J is a recommendation from the purchasing department and county sheriff to award a purchase order to Anderson Ford using state of Nebraska contract number 14611OC to provide one Ford police midsize utility vehicle. The cost of county is $29,539.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to award a purchase order to Anderson Ford for one Ford Police midsize utility vehicle. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. K is a recommendation from the purchasing department and county engineer to award a purchase order to Titan Machinery using state of Minnesota contract MNCPV NT-622 for the purchase of a case backhoe. The cost of county is $92,000.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. So now I bring before you, and as I have the last three purchases of major equipment, the recommendation for the case backhoe. We did the cost-benefit analysis on the life cycle of this piece of equipment in order to select it, and we're excited to once again bring forward a piece of equipment with that process.
Okay. Are there any questions for Ms. Dingman? Otherwise, I entertain a motion.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to award a purchase order to Titan Machinery for the purchase of a case backhoe. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Mr. Clerk, can we revisit item number I, please? Mr.
4I is a recommendation from the purchasing agent and the county, district, and juvenile courts to award a contract for Hall of Justice courtroom audio replacement to Midwest Sound and Lighting. The total amount is $189,382.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this, but we had questions about the amount and whether or not it was included in the budget for this fiscal year.
For the current fiscal year, we had built in half of the courtrooms for each of the courts. And then the next budget year was going to take into effect the remaining half of the courtrooms. So the current budget year does have half of them in there.
Commissioner Amundson?
And I do have a question here. There was a responding supplier from Astrovision at Boca Raton for $95,000, and I was wondering if you could address the difference and why we went with the Midwest Sound and Lighting. I realize that that's from the Lincoln area, but I know that we use other states too.
The response that I received back from the person who's in charge of this, who is Jared Gavin, was that company didn't even bid what we asked for.
Okay.
They were just throwing out what they provide for their products in courtrooms, and it wasn't applicable to the specifications. So they were, their bid was rejected as non-responsive.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions regarding this matter? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. L is a unit price quotation from Americon Communications Corporation pursuant to County Contract C-16-689 in the amount of $21,786 for the supply and installation of enterprise video management software and equipment for Lancaster County Treasurer driver's licensing. The amount exceeds the $20,000 purchasing threshold.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the unit price quotation from Americom Communications Corporation for the supply and installation of enterprise video management software and equipment for the Lancaster County Treasurer's Office. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. M is a contract with Office Depot, Inc., using the City of Tamarack, Florida, contract number 13-23R to provide office supplies. Term of the contract is from April 18th, 2017 through April 17th, 2018. The cost of county is not to exceed $225,000.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the contract with Office Depot or office supplies. Any discussion? Commissioner Avery?
I would like to point out that using the city of Tamarack is a cost-effective way to go about supplying this need. I had a question earlier that I directed to our legal counsel about going out of state for these kinds of expenditures and purchases. And I am told, and I understand this, that we save quite a bit of money by piggybacking onto the city of Tamarack, Florida for this contract. And here comes Bob. You want to make it clearer than I did?
You did a good job. I just want to point out that there are multiple cooperative contracts across the country with, that Office Depot has. And we were previously with the state of Florida. Their contract expired, but the city of Tamarack picked up the bid, and then we determined that it was in the best pricing that we could get was through that contract to remain with it instead of going with another national cooperative. So yes, we get our best pricing from those national cooperatives because of the volume, but we do have to do a little bit of work, and actually it's a lot of work in some of these on our end to determine which cooperative we're going to use.
Okay. Are there any other questions or discussion? Okay, please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. N is an agreement between Alfred Benish and Company and Lancaster County on behalf of the Lancaster County Engineer to provide material testing on asphalt for the county's 2017 paving and resurfacing project. The cost of county is not to exceed $13,800.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. We put this out every year. We send out and ask for letter proposals from local consultants who do asphalt testing. So this year, the asphalt testing from Alfred Benish was the most cost competitive, and they have had our asphalt contract off and on for about 20 years. And so we know they do a really good job, and we need to do this to ensure the quality of our subgrades and the quality of our asphalt.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with Alfred Benish and Company to provide material testing on asphalt for the county's 2017 paving and resurfacing project. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4O is an amendment to County Contract C-14-294 with BI Incorporated, using the City and County of Denver contract number Safety 2013-14300-00 to provide offender monitoring products, services, and solutions. The amendment renews the contract from February 1st, 2017 through January 31st, 2019. The cost of county is not to exceed $100,000.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend the county contract with BI Incorporated to provide offender monitoring products, services, and solutions. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. P is an amendment to County Contract C-17-34 with Murphy Tractor and Equipment Company for skid steer loader rentals. An additional loader has been added for county corrections. The estimated expenditures for this contract will be increased by $4,213 for the remainder of the contract term for a revised total amount of $8,713.
Good morning, Brad Johnson, Director of the County Jail. We're here to talk about, we want to lease a skid loader that's purchasing has a contract through a vendor locally. Yearly, we rent skid loaders to pick up the gravel off the parking lot from the winter. This year, we have 500 cubic yards of mulch that we need to put down. So that's another use that we could use this one for going into the summer months here. And then we could also use it again next year for picking up gravel. So by the time we figure in what it would cost us to rent it for 5, 6 to 8 weeks, we can lease it for the entire year. So it just makes more sense in my mind to lease it and use it throughout the year than for such a short period.
Well, and there's also an added benefit in the purchasing of materials for the jail.
Our intentions are, after we get these large projects done, that we can put forklifts on the front of it and use it in our warehouse so we can purchase the supplies in larger quantities and get them a little bit cheaper as well.
Thank you. Any questions? Oh, Commissioner Amundson?
Yeah, and I do have another question. Is this skid loader something that can be utilized by other departments at some point in time?
I suppose it's something that if scheduling worked out, that
Yeah.
we could do something like that.
Okay.
Any other questions for Mr. Johnson?
Okay, I move approval.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to amend the county contract with Murphy Tractor and Equipment Company for skid steer loader rentals. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Q are amendments to the following contracts for the annual service of noxious weed control, spraying and mowing. The amendment renews the contracts from May 19th, 2017 through May 18th, 2018. This is County Contract C-15-215 with Beatrice Lawn Care, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $10,000. County Contract C-15-218 with D'Angelo Brothers in an amount not to exceed $5,000. County Contract C-15-216 with Mr. Yards and More, LLC, in an amount not to exceed $12,000.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend the contracts for the annual service of noxious weed control, spraying and mowing. Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. R is an amendment to County Contract C-14-247 with New Heights Tree Service for tree trimming and removal services. The amendment renews the contract from May 20th, 2017 through May 19th, 2018. The cost of county is not to exceed $10,000.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend the county contract with New Heights Tree Service for tree trimming and removal services. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4S is a political subdivision tort claim filed against Lancaster County by Michael Chaka in the amount of $96.63.
Move approval of the tort claim?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the political subdivision tort claim filed by Michael Sejek. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman, Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 5, consent items. Receive and place on file the following reports for April 2017, and this is for records and information management. Right-of-way contract between Lancaster County and Phyllis Ackley, North 112th Street and Alville Road in the amount of $1,459. Utility permit number 1522, allowing Unite Private Networks to install a new fiber optic cable under Yankee Hill Road from South 56th Street to South 70th Street. There is no cost to the county.
Move approval of the consent items?
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent items. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 6 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on agenda may do so at this time.
No. Commissioner Amundson?
I would just like to make a quick mention of the fact that Lancaster County and the city of Lincoln really do benefit by the law enforcement officers that we have on staff. And this is National Law Enforcement Officials Week, and I would like to express our gratitude towards the law enforcement officials who keep our public safe.
Thank you.
Okay, next is announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting, including department budget hearings on Thursday, May 18, 2017, at 8:30 a.m. in the Bill Luxford Studio of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold their next early meeting on Tuesday, May 23, 2017, at 9 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold department budget hearings on Tuesday, May 23, 2017, at 10 a.m. or immediately following the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners' regular meeting in the Bill Luxford Studio of the County City Building. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commission@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live. It is rebroadcast on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays on 5 City TV, Cable Channel 5. In addition, the meeting may be viewed on the internet at lancaster.ne.gov under 5 City TV Video on Demand or 5 City TV on YouTube.
Move we adjourn?
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, that concludes the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting. We're going to go ahead and open the Lancaster County Board of Equalization meeting. Mr. Clerk, please start the agenda.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available for the county clerk's staff. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Also in attendance this morning is Scott Gaines from the county assessor's office. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, May 9th, 2017.
Move approval.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, May 9th. Any discussion or corrections? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 2 are additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval of the additions and deductions?
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is a public hearing. This is for motor vehicle tax exemption applications. This includes the Catholic Bishop of Lincoln doing business at Calvary Catholic Cemetery and Mausoleum, Connecting Point Church of the Nazarene, Cornhusker Council Boy Scouts of America, Indian Hills Community Church, Lincoln Literacy Council, Madonna Rehabilitation Hospital, St. Teresa Church, and Tabitha Inc.
Okay, I'm going to open the public hearing for the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Anyone here to speak in support, opposition, or in the neutral capacity for these applications? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing.
Next is action on motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 5 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to County Board of Equalization business not on agenda may do so at this time.
Move we adjourn?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, and that concludes the Lancaster County Board of Equalization. Have a good day.